If there's one empire that refuses to be forgotten, it's Rome. An empire of gladiators, emperors, philosophers, assassinations, betrayals, and engineering so advanced that some of their buildings still stand 2,000 years later. Today, we're covering all of it, from a cluster of huts on a riverbank to the most powerful empire the world had ever known, and its dramatic fall that still shapes our world today. So grab your sandals and sharpen your gladius, because this is the entire history of the Roman Empire in just 10 minutes. Rome begins fittingly with legend. The story goes that Rome was founded in 753 BCE by Romulus, who may or may not have murdered his own twin brother to take the crown. Not exactly a wholesome family moment, but it definitely sets the tone. In reality, Rome started as a small settlement of Latin-speaking farmers living on 7 hills. There were no marble temples or mighty legions yet, just mud huts, sheep, and a great location. Positioned along the Tiber River, with access to trade and fertile land, it was a perfect place for a small village that would one day become a superpower. For its first 2 centuries, Rome was ruled by kings, until the Romans collectively decided, yeah, no thanks. In 509 BCE, they overthrew the monarchy and created something new, the Roman Republic. The Republic became one of the most complex political systems ever created. Instead of a king, Rome had 2 consuls who shared power, a senate that advised them, and a population that took politics extremely seriously. As Rome grew, so did its ambitions, first across Italy, then across the Mediterranean. This expansion led to its most famous rivalry, Carthage. The Punic Wars were essentially ancient history's biggest grudge match. In one of the most unbelievable moves ever, the Carthaginian general Hannibal marched an army and actual war elephants through the Alps and into Italy. Despite the chaos Hannibal caused, Rome eventually won the war and destroyed Carthage, securing control of the Western Mediterranean. Victory brought land, wealth, and power, but also deep inequality, political corruption, and ambitious generals who were starting to think Rome belonged to them. And that's where Julius Caesar enters the chat. Caesar was brilliant, charismatic, wildly ambitious, and loved by his soldiers. After years of civil conflict, he declared himself dictator for life. The Senate, not thrilled with this development, responded by stabbing him a lot. Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE wasn't the return to Republican glory the senators hoped for. Instead, it plunged Rome into even more chaos. The ultimate winner of the ensuing power struggle was Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, who took the title Augustus. Augustus didn't call himself a king, but he definitely acted like one. He created the Roman Empire, cleverly packaged as a restored republic, and people loved it. Under Augustus began the Pax Romana, a 200-year period of stability and prosperity. Rome reached the height of its power. A massive network of roads, monumental architecture, aqueducts supplying huge cities, and professional legions that dominated the battlefield. This was Rome at its golden age. Of course, not every emperor lived up to the hype. Some were brilliant leaders, and some were less so. Caligula tried to make his horse a senator. Nero was accused of playing music while Rome burned. Commodus liked to pretend he was a gladiator, and occasionally murdered people for fun. There were good emperors too, like Trajan, who expanded Rome to its greatest extent, and Hadrian, who built massive fortifications and iconic monuments. But even during the good years, cracks were forming beneath the surface. By the 3rd century, Rome entered what can politely be called a disaster. Plagues, economic collapse, invasions, rapid-fire emperors, some of whom ruled for only a few months, all threatened the empire. In an attempt to restore order, Emperor Diocletian split the empire in two, the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire. This division helped stabilize things, at least temporarily. But the western half never fully recovered. It faced internal corruption, shrinking finances, and increasing pressure from migrating and invading tribes one by one. Roman territories slipped away. Finally, in 476 CE, the last Western Roman emperor, a teenager named Romulus Augustus, was deposed. That moment is traditionally considered the fall of Rome. But here's the twist. Rome didn't totally fall. The eastern half survived as the Byzantine Empire for another 1,000 years, preserving Roman culture, law, and knowledge. So in a sense, Rome didn't vanish. It simply transformed. From a tiny village on a riverbank to the greatest empire of the ancient world, Rome shaped our laws, languages, architecture, religion, and even our calendars. It has been gone for over 1,500 years, yet its influence is everywhere. Rome may have fallen, but its legacy never did. Thanks for joining this journey through history. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what civilization you want covered next. After all roads lead to history.